I share what I'm listening to and my thoughts on music and the business daily for free at helloyassine.com. What's poppin', y'all? It looks like Cenat is dealing with the negative effects of fame, because even when you give a lukewarm opinion and preface it with "don't take this too seriously" or "don't take this the wrong way," people are going to do exactly that. So in this instance, he decided to give his opinion. I wouldn't even say come at Pewdiepie. And let me play the clip for you guys before we get into the thoughts on this.
This may be an L take, and I apologize in advance, but I couldn't see how it got into PewDiePie. I'm sorry.
Nah, I agree. I feel like I didn't watch him. When I looked into him,
I'll be honest. That might be an L take though. You feel me?
It be like that sometimes, but everybody's not for everybody, because some niggas might say that about you.
Not facts.
It be like that.
Not for me personally though. I don't know.
So as you guys just heard, we got a pretty balanced reception here. The interesting part about this is Cenat was the exact age demographic that would have enjoyed PewDiePie the most when PewDiePie was really popping. And the reason why I say that is because Cenat was a huge fan of Roman Atwood and his vlogs. Roman Atwood was a popular prankster initially before he switched it up to vlogs consistently daily for years on end with his family. And he was a big FouseyTube fan as well as FouseyTube was doing his own vlogs at the time. And the reason why I say that age demographic matters as well as content viewing preference is a lot of Cenat's early content was funny skits, and even early days on YouTube, he was doing a lot of pranks to a degree. I mean, he did have some negative reactions for certain pranks, like the ones where he was taking people's he was taking tip jars and then tipping them more, and people weren't too happy about that. But these are two separate sides of the content ecosystem at that point in YouTube. We're talking 2015, 16, 17 YouTube at the time. And I would say, as somebody who viewed PewDiePie later, I understand where Cenat is coming from exactly. And what he's trying to say is, PewDiePie, think about it like this. The way people look at PewDiePie right now is with rose-colored or with rose-tinted goggles, whatever you want to call it. Because at the time, people were like, man, how the hell does anybody watch PewDiePie? The exact same treatment that Cenat is getting from everyone right now is the identical treatment PewDiePie got. They're like, yo, people are watching this dude play video games, and he made $7 million last year. I remember that was the first time where PewDiePie escaped his little niche. And PewDiePie was one of these people that played video games. And it wasn't competitive video games, because there's a nuance, or there's an important distinction, I should say, in between those two, is that people that are watching somebody play a competitive video game, let's say Call of Duty, which didn't really have a rank system, but let's say Call of Duty at this point in time, maybe Marvel Rivals, I'm talking about right now. And as such, people want to learn, they want to get better, so they're watching someone that's really skilled at the game. Whereas the genre that PewDiePie was in, and a lot of these other guys, like his crew or that same clique of Markiplier, Jacksepticeye, and these other guys who I can't recall off the top of my head right now, those guys just played fun games, like fun PC games, like Friday FNAF. I don't know. I've never played any of these games. That's why it's so hard for me to relate to it. But I did see that era of YouTube, and I wasn't a frequent viewer in it. So this was a particular genre, and it had millions upon millions of viewers, and people were getting a lot of success, PewDiePie namely being one of them. But when they started publishing how much YouTubers were making per year, and then it was like, oh, PewDiePie made 7 million. I don't know if this was 2015 or 16. That's when it blew up, and people were like, this guy's just making money playing video games. And I could see why Cenat wasn't interested in watching that. I wasn't interested in watching that. And granted, I'm a couple of years older than Cenat. But then I started watching PewDiePie in 2016, 17, when he started to do more personality content, more reactions. And the thing is, Cenat got a couple of negative reactions. One of them was just a criticism for MrBeast, who him and Cenat are cool. And I've previously called Cenat the MrBeast of Twitch. But MrBeast said, L take, he fundamentally shaped YouTube culture. I miss meme review and loved watching him play random games while I ate dinner every night. Pood's a goat. There was a passing of the torch moment that happened between PewDiePie and MrBeast. MrBeast was already blowing up, and it was evident that eventually he was going to take over the platform. But what happened was PewDiePie was in this battle against T-Series. T-Series was this Indian corporation, basically, that was growing faster than any other YouTuber, and they were set to pass PewDiePie, and people wanted to make sure that the first person or the first YouTube account to hit 100 million subscribers was an individual and not a corporation. So MrBeast helped a lot with that. He got billboards, he was promoting PewDiePie, and PewDiePie was, obviously, he showed love, and PewDiePie had that diss track towards T-Series. It was a really fun era of YouTube. I would call this the golden age of YouTube. Like, the way that people reminisce and talk about the 90s and hip-hop is exactly how I would mention this era of YouTube. It will never go back to being like that. So, hey, if you missed it, hey, chalk it up to the game, get back on TikTok or something. Maybe the golden age of TikTok is going on right now. I'm not entirely sure. But what happened was PewDiePie decided not to keep going. He decided to, he already had a long-term girlfriend. He decided to fall back and just do the content that he wanted. And one take that MrBeast made important here was this meme review. So there was this one stop for YouTube culture. Drama Alert was also part of it, but Drama Alert wasn't necessarily culture as much as news commentary about culture and events that were going on. But PewDiePie would be talking about what's going on as well. And this was like a hub in the same way that No Jumper was a hub for underground rap, SoundCloud rap throughout the 2010s, latter half of the 2010s, and in the way that it is right now for LA/California West Coast rap. So this was an important cornerstone, as opposed to people just saying, oh, Cenat wouldn't be here if PewDiePie didn't play video games. That's not as convincing. Sneeko even gave his own opinion on this as well, which I'll play for you guys right now.
Kai said he doesn't understand how people watch PewDiePie, and MrBeast defended him. You see that?
Nah, I agree. I feel like I didn't watch him. When I looked into him,
I used to watch PewDiePie.
Might be an outtake though.
I used to watch PewDiePie a lot.
Bro, PewDiePie was doing it without like any crazy setup, just webcam, his personality.
I like his thoughts on stuff too. Like he used to like just talk about the YouTube community a lot.
Yeah.
We used to say
Good social commentary.
He's just he's a lot of
when he matured and he got older. But his OG stuff when he was raging at games, that was really funny when I was a kid.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't really understand why he's saying that. But there's no way you watch PewDiePie.
I don't know. I'm just like PewDiePie. I'm not gonna lie, it sounds like a homosexual name. You know what I mean? It sounds weird. PewDiePie, like it's like Cutie Pie or something.
Yeah.
He was on top of the game.
But is it like kid content or?
Yeah, he was doing gaming content, a little bit for everybody. But I think when he started, he was like appealing to 12-year-olds and OG YouTube. But he did kind of pioneer that stuff. Everybody's watching.
I've heard that name so many times, but I don't know who that is though.
Yeah, PewDiePie.
Is he still creating content now?
Not really. He's in Japan. Bro, some YouTubers got it right. A lot of YouTubers ended up becoming pedophiles. Like when they the Sky Does Minecraft, a lot of these guys. PewDiePie was able to get off the grid. He got married. He's got a kid in Japan. He just got his money coming in. He's set for life. Like that's the way to go, bro.
Yeah, definitely. You can't be on it forever.
Yeah, you can't. There's got to be an escape route. When you get in that at a certain point, you're still doing the same stuff. It's just like, bro.
Yeah, definitely. Live long enough to be the villain.
Yeah.
Got a hero.
Hey, that's bars. Hey, you have to drop it.
Gotta get out of a certain point. But I appreciate PewDiePie. I think he did pioneer a lot of this content world.
Sneeko was clearly influenced by this era of YouTube. I mean, the guy had video gameplay on commentary videos back in, 2016 or so. He was raised on the YouTube platform. He had back and forths with Keemstar and the like. But one thing that MrBeast did was he fused PewDiePie and T-Series. So he became a massive corporation that's worth billions of dollars, doing hundreds of millions in sales just of his chocolate. So the guy's a corporation, but he still kept the personal element to it as well. PewDiePie, on the other hand, he decided, I'm done playing this game. And he wanted to just be himself and live the way that he wanted to live, because this is the tough part. Once you get to a certain point, like Kai Cenat, for instance, and I will give you another example, like XQC and Kai Cenat. That's almost like a PewDiePie and I guess you could say it's like a PewDiePie MrBeast conversation. The reason why I say that is because Kai Cenat's doing bigger, better, grander. How can we make this crazier? Versus XQC has just been sitting on his computer doing the same thing for years. I mean, he would do IRL streams here and there, whether it was at TwitchCon or now when he's with Drake. But XQC is not after I'm going to create a huge production set and have these huge events. Perhaps he may do that in the future. He may not. And PewDiePie was the same way. PewDiePie didn't want to have a whole team and then manage the team. The guy just wanted to be a YouTuber and film videos about what he enjoyed, just like the way that he started. And that's the difference with the game now, is a lot of people are coming into the game with money on their mind. And PewDiePie, once he made the money, and he's still making money, obviously, he just thought to himself, okay, I'm living an amazing life. Why do I need to get bigger? Why do I need to scale? And then MrBeast did an amazing interview on this on Diary of a CEO, where he talks about how much stress he has to go through and how many fires he's constantly putting out and what he has to deal with. Do you think if MrBeast wanted to say, hey, let me take 5 months off right now, he'd be able to? Hell no, he wouldn't be able to. There's so many people relying on him, so many businesses, so many things operating, so many things down the pipeline, and he needs to be there present for all of them. Whereas PewDiePie, he's done it before. He's taken long breaks, and it's just a matter of preference. Whereas Cenat, he decided to take the MrBeast route. So of course he's going to relate to MrBeast a lot more than he would PewDiePie. And I think he's just saying he doesn't really understand, because if he's talking about the content, then I don't really know, because Cenat is playing games, regular games, just like PewDiePie was playing games. And this is the thing, Cenat didn't blow up playing games. For some reason, people decide to like believe that, but that's not how he blew up. He blew up streaming kind of IRL content. IRL, just chatting, if you want to call it that, maybe GTA here and there, but he had already blown up on YouTube before that, and that was just IRL content. But what I don't like is people trying to diminish Cenat's accomplishments, whereas Cenat has been able to influence mainstream pop culture by having Nicki Minaj on there, meeting with Ye. PewDiePie, he was in YouTube culture, and he's a pillar of YouTube. Cenat wouldn't tell you that PewDiePie is not a legend. He was just saying that, yeah, I don't really get how people can watch that. Like, for me personally, I don't get how people can watch Sniper Wolf just react to stuff in those type of videos, especially in her particular video where it's just kind of, I wouldn't call it slop, but it's just brain rot to a degree. It's not reacting and giving some opinions like an Abba and Preach, which I can get why people watch that, even though I don't. But that's all I've got to say about the situation. Don't want to drag it on too long. Like and subscribe and hit the notification bell if you enjoyed. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Go to helloyassine.com, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you for watching. Peace.